Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st down, it's Palmer. Drops this off to Tomlinson, complete. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Palmer to throw again. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Cunningham from the gun. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
From the gun on third down, Cunningham. And incomplete here on third down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 4.
Find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On the handoff, Tomlinson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On second down, Palmer. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Palmer. Got his man, it's Caldwell. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Palmer. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Now Palmer to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out.
to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd down, it's Tomlinson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go. What?
Out of the gun, Palmer. The 20. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. In for the score. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee. And now Oakland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it a yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Cunningham. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Cunningham throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
What's inside?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Open space inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up.
And free shipping for all. Welcome, everyone.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7.
Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong with Head & Shoulders.
I'm going to go with, all right, we're seeing a little bit of rain hitting now, and we hope it doesn't get heavy for those folks, but if it does, they'll just go into a couple of establishments that aren't very dry to get dry. That's the way we're rolling here on Broadway.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kicks away.
As the players who are here in Nashville are one by
This
one.
fielded a few yards into the end zone.
To the thousands here on Broadway. Let's
and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop.
There's Quentin Williams, huh?
He look at that baby face. He doesn't even know how strong and how good he's going to be a couple years from now.
On the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the rest of them who are here just were introduced to the crowd.
Now Palmer on first down.
Music City.
And that is incomplete.
Big draft.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
For the presentation of the colors.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Joined on stage by 3 veterans from the Wounded Warrior Project.
2nd and 10 now, and it's Palmer. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Please join in the singing of our national
anthem. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Cunningham buying time to his left. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
On second down, here's Cunningham. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being...
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline?
As a proud new sponsor of the
Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Pros like to do things right. So we've stepped up our pro game, too, with new pro managers, pro parking, and pro loaders, so you can get more done right. Lowe's, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Throwing now, Palmer on first down.
I'll be the best humanitarian.
And his throw is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it.
Nationwide.
Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Second and 10. It's Palmer again. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 25-yard line. Now it's Palmer. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong.
Throwing again. Palmer running. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
What is the greatest running shoe ever?
You can feel the anguish all the way up there. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to
Your
it.
detergent, stain removers, and odor fighters all fit in the palm of your hand. #1 stain and odor fighter. #1 trusted. It's
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. the 38. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will get it at their 20-yard line.
Going into
the Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Set to put the Cardinals on the clock.
Rich, an interesting
one play has him to the 37 here for first and 10.
John Gruden moved Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins up on the draft board, firmly putting Haskins in play at the very least at number 4.
Now this time he'll look to throw
as the future franchise quarterback of the soon-to-be
dancing to his left.
Meanwhile, the New York
Giants, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Quarterback at 6, not
hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground.
Beat Daniel Jones
over
Haskins. Meanwhile, it is very clear the Washington Redskins, with the future of Alex Smith in doubt, do have their eyes on the quarterback, and I'm told they've been in talks about moving up, maybe even a big move to try to get a passer.
All right, Ian, it's very rare for the Giants to choose a quarterback in the first round. I mean, Phil Simms was back in 1979 in the Super Bowl era. That was the first time they did it. We all know they won a Super Bowl with him, 2 of them. Phillip Rivers, yes, technically was a Giants first-round draft choice that they flipped for Eli Manning, who's won 2 Super Bowls for them, and that's all she wrote. And Eli, along with Phillip, are 2 quarterbacks on this board who are over the age of 35. It's amazing how long we've been at it that Aaron Rodgers is now on this list. You take a look at Ben Roethlisberger, just had a 3-year contract. For him, he would be 39 at the end of that, getting set to figure out if he could be like Breeze and Brady and play into his 40s. Who needs to draft a successor for one of those 35, 30-something guys tonight, do you think?
To me, it's those 2 teams in the NFC East. Look at the Washington Redskins and New York Giants. The New York Giants, partly because they didn't do it last year, they decided to bypass the quarterback, take Saquon Barkley. That, to me, puts more pressure on them to find one tonight. The Washington Redskins, because of circumstance, the unfortunate injury to Alex Smith. And I'll add this, you look inside that division with Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz, those 2 franchises are set, and they are building around those young quarterbacks. Guys, they got to go find their own.
And I'm going to say none of them have to go get their quarterback tonight. And you look across the board, Denver, Joe Flacco, 34 years old. He's got a number of years left. Andy Dalton, 31. Washington, Case Keenum, 31. I'm a firm believer, build your team and then get your young quarterbacks so you put them into a position to win. But I'm with you. If there's one team I say has to do it sooner than the others, I would say the New York Giants because of where Eli Manning is. But there's a lot of issues on all of these teams that are looking for quarterbacks.
And I'm with you right there. I think it's the New York Giants. You have a new coaching staff just come in. You're establishing yourself to take a big-time running back. You've reworked your roster. You can't have another setback 2 years from now when Eli is done. You need to have a young guy in-house right now that you're starting to groom. So when Eli does retire or whatever happens, he starts to leave, now you've got somebody in-house that you've already groomed who can take over and continue to rise as a franchise.
One thing, Rich, I would add real quick, the Washington Redskins need a spark. I mean, there is no buzz of that organization right now. You go draft a quarterback tonight, that changes.
Well, sure, it certainly would, that's for sure. And then you've got the Raiders, who you heard Ian Rappaport say might be interested in Haskins. They've got 3 first-rounders tonight, 2 thanks to the Mack and Cooper trades at the outset and in the middle of last year. Mr. Big Chest comes that way just a few weeks ago, along with Trent Brown and Tyrell Williams, all part of the Mike Mayock, John Gruden remake of this team. And in case you're wondering what Mayock might be thinking, all we need to do is turn to 2018 Mike Mayock, when he talked about John Dorsey as a tone-setting first pick for a new general manager.
And put the ball on the receiver.
Let's set the tone for a second, okay? If you're John Dorsey and you're the new general manager of the Cleveland Browns, this first pick of yours sets the tone for your franchise. It shows all the players in the locker room what a new Cleveland Brown looks like and smells like by your definition. So you got to get this thing right. The guy's got to be great off the field. got to be great in the locker room. He's going to help you set the culture for the future.
Now hold everything here.
If we had told Mike that he was giving us a roadmap for how he would handle the Raiders draft the next year, I mean, it's amazing how things change in life. So, Daniel, you first here. What would be considered a successful night for the Raiders with 3 first-round selections?
Well, I think the Raiders are sick of hearing the number 13 because that's how many sacks they had last year. They could not get after the quarterback. And you've got 3 picks this year. You've traded off Khalil Mack. You're in a division with Mahomes and Phillip Rivers. They've got to find some players in this draft that can get after the quarterback. And then, to me, overall, just speed on defense. They've got to get faster. There's so much speed in that division, so many athletes. They are a slow football team. That has to change starting tonight.
I have to just jump in here. To play lonesome loser at a draft is like playing Suspicious Minds at a wedding. I mean, this is a bad draft song.
I think they're playing that for me, Rich.
I mean, lonesome
my
loser.
draft experience.
And who gets beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time?
Every time.
All right, what do you think? You know Gruden from your days with the Raiders. What do you think?
There's no question. Daniel hit it right on the head. They got to come out of this draft. It's not just about the quarterback or not. It's about coming out of this draft, and not the fans either. It's about the people in that building looking and saying, we know what direction this franchise is going. We made some picks that have changed the direction of this franchise. They've cleaned house. They've made a lot of decisions, like them or not. It doesn't matter. This is where they are, and they're building. They want to come out of this draft saying, here are the building blocks of what we're going to do in the future.
Who are you counseling up? That looks like Gannon right there, right? From back in the day.
Rich Gannon was coaching me back then.
Nice.
You got him MVP ready. To me, a successful draft does not include a quarterback. You got a 28-year-old quarterback that's been a Pro Bowler. Many of those other teams we talked about would love to jump at Derek Carr, but to me, it's about defense. At least 2 of these picks have to be difference makers on defense. Maybe even all 3 of them. I look and say, maybe you get a running back, maybe you get a tight end offensively, but outside of that, you got to go heavy on the defensive side and improve that whole football team.
And with Derek Carr, they spent the offseason, went out and got him a premier receiver in Antonio Brown. Went and paid a whole lot of money for a left tackle. Yeah. What a shame it would be if you never got to enjoy it.
And don't forget the second receiver they got from San Diego.
Tyrell Williams.
2 really good receivers and a really good quarterback. Getting better on the offensive line, bringing in a tackle. But you need difference makers. You got this many picks. You either leverage them to move up and get somebody that you think is a superstar, or you walk out of that first round saying, we got 3 first-day starters right now. They're going to help them to the direction of this franchise.
And there's Nick Bosa back there, getting set to join his brother, potentially on the West Coast. As you look at all the mock drafts and the way that things have been working out. And that's an interesting thing that you brought up as well when you were on my show earlier today, DJ, is that Cardinals choose Kyler Murray. That allows the top pass rusher available to be in the division to go hunt him down for the 49ers.
We're going to look at the defenses in that division right now, and you're going to gift wrap the best pass rusher in the NFL and one of the best interior guys to a divisional opponent. You've got San Francisco, you've got Aaron Donald and company with the Los Angeles Rams and Pete Carroll. They're always going to play great defense in Seattle. So this decision tonight has ripple effects in that division.
So what are you saying? What are you saying?
I would take the defensive lineman and I would roll with Josh Rosen. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, because again, I mean, if you're wondering about the first overall pick, there are some quarterbacks who played in the league last year who are wondering if that will mean a change of address for them, depending on who chooses a quarterback at the top of the draft. Lincoln Riley has just tweeted out, the Oklahoma Sooners head coach, putting a Cardinals draft hat up on Twitter with the emoji. I mean, I can't recall a situation like this where you've got a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback up for grabs. He's 5'10" and an 8, and that checks a box saying good enough for us. For a team potentially that one and done their head coach, and then can potentially one and done their first round drafted quarterback from last year, and put him up for grabs while they were on the clock. It's nuts. I don't recall anything.
It's fascinating, but when you really think about it, having been in this draft room, sometimes you have organizational decisions. If you make an organizational decision, this is the path that we're going down. You and I talked about this earlier, Rich. If we decide to do this, we can't worry about what we did last year, the year before. We're going in a direction, and everybody's on the same page. So this decision has to come from the top.
They've got to get it right. I mean, they've got to get it right. There was a lot of pressure on Steve Keim to get this pick right tonight. He went out and hired a coach that was off the radar for everybody in Cliff Kingsbury after he had Fire at Texas Tech. So that, to me, was a more bold decision than him taking Kyler Murray tonight. But we'll see how it all plays out.
Well, and I think the bottom line is you've got the #1 pick in the draft that you hope you're never here again, but you have it. If you believe Kyler Murray is a difference maker at the most important position in our game, you go get him because you're in a position to go get him. And on our rundown, the next question is what could turn this draft upside down? And I think that's just, without a doubt, it's if the Cardinals do not take Kyler Murray, correct?
There's two things. If they didn't take Kyler Murray, it would get crazy. And if we have a second quarterback go up there in the top 4, whether that's the Raiders after Nick Haskins, whether that's somebody leapfrogging the Raiders to take another quarterback, teams that never thought in a million years they would see a player like Quentin Williams. I'm looking at you, Tampa Bay, might have a shot.
Well, it's another thing to keep in mind here is that Kyler Murray turned down a lucrative contract from the Oakland A's, and with an enhanced signing bonus that was reported to have been enhanced to the tune of $14 million. If Kyler Murray slips past the top 5, he would have lost money on the deal to get into the National Football League draft. And the word is, if that happens, would he consider going back to baseball? And that would be in the mind's eye of a lot of teams that might consider trading up or taking him. This is part of the intrigue should the Cardinals not take him at the top of the draft. Something to keep in mind.
I would say even if you haven't committed to picking Kyler Murray, I would have to believe you've worked out that language, and that language is going to be in this contract to protect yourself for that right scenario you just talked about.
There's no question about it. And you have to get the young man on the phone. So before we make this pick, you have to commit to me that this is what you want to do. Now, he's been saying all along, he's put baseball aside. He's spent these last few months preparing to play football mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I'd love to believe that his word. But you know,
I like to see it on paper.
Big dollar signs. When those big dollar signs start coming up, absolutely, it would have to be written in the contract.
I mean, if you have that question, this little difference in money might affect him going back to baseball. And you're not getting the competitor you think you're getting at your quarterback position. You could never make that big, but you have to believe he's here for a reason, committed to be at the draft for a reason, because he wants to play football, and he wants to be the next guy like Russell Wilson to prove everybody wrong and be the highest paid quarterback, and he's going to go compete for that. He's easily the most fascinating player in this year's draft. There's no doubt about it. His drafting first overall would mean the evolution of the National Football League into a spread offense, the college game leaking into the NFL game, that the transformation would essentially be complete. That Kyler Murray would be the first overall pick in a draft at 5, 10, and 8, coming off of a stellar, as you can see next to Lincoln Riley right there, a stellar Heisman Trophy season in Oklahoma. And without him in this draft, it would definitely be a different dynamic for all of us leading up to this draft at the Combine and here tonight. So the drama is building, the tension is palpable, the party is on here in Nashville, and the answers are coming as the commissioner is about to put the Arizona Cardinals on the clock and start the 2019 NFL draft here on NFL Network from Nashville.
You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
But really, when you get to the heart of it, they like the idea of stars.
On 1st down, it's Cunningham.
They like the idea that a person can dream about becoming something, and there's nobody stopping them from giving it a shot.
Everybody doing
14 yards
of course, the truth is, nothing happens by accident. Nobody gives out dreams for free. If you're going to chase a dream, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to want it so bad that you'll do just about anything to get it over and over again. Because really, it's not that complicated. It's not just about talent. It's not just about dreams even. It's about what people are willing to do to chase their dreams. We see it every day and every night. There is nothing more beautiful, nothing more inspiring, nothing better than seeing the stories of the next stars unfold right in front of your eyes.
He's got a chance to go in the 1st round, Rich.
Going from nowhere to the top of the whole world, their lives changed forever. Now tonight, football's most promising names get set to realize the dreams they've been chasing since the beginning. So grab a bar stool, pull it up, and settle in. This show's just getting started. Let's hear those names called out at the NFL draft in Nashville, Tennessee.
He's airing it out for Whip, and this is taken in at the 5.
Welcome to the 2019 National Football League Draft live on NFL Network, presented by Verizon. For years, this event was held in something called a music hall near Broadway in Manhattan, New York. And now it is on the road and traveling, and it's turned a road called Broadway in Music City into an actual draft hall. It is an amazing spectacle right here in Nashville, Tennessee, for the 2019 NFL Draft that has been filled with intrigue and drama, and it is all about to suddenly subside with answers to long-standing questions involving the Heisman Trophy winner, Kyler Murray. My name is Rich Eisen. I'm pleased and honored to be right here in this chair for 15th straight year hosting a National Football League draft on the NFL Network. And at the end of the set, it is great to see Daniel Jeremiah in that seat next to my Hall of Fame quarterback, Kurt Warner, and for the 8th year out of Stanford, the football coach at Stanford. Good to see you, David Shaw.
What a terrific job
David
by him.
Shaw is here, and Daniel Jeremiah and Kurt Warner. DJ, you're first. What are you expecting to see tonight?
Well, I'm just waiting for this first pick, not knowing what's going to happen with the first pick, and Kyler Murray specifically. That, to me, is the biggest story in this entire draft. He's one of the more unique evaluations that I've ever done. One of the more exciting players to watch, and I'm anxious to see if he does end up being this first overall pick with Arizona.
And for me, over the last few years, it's been about movement to get quarterbacks. And so once you get to that number 6 pick, you got the Giants, you got Denver, you got Cincinnati, you got Miami, you got Washington, all within 6 to 15. I'm looking to see, is there going to be some movement? Are people going to start jumping up to get that signal caller? And for me, there's so many good players in this draft, but I think about those wow guys, those guys that make you rewind the film over and over, and it starts with Kyler Murray. He does some things that's unbelievable to watch. The 2 receivers in Hollywood Brown have just made so many plays down the field, running by everybody. But then DK Metcalf, what kind of guy is very polarizing? What kind of guy is this? But this guy makes unbelievable plays repeatedly down the field. And the guy on defense for me, Brian Burns. Is he this? Is he that? Is he too small? Is he whatever? He is so explosive. I kept thinking about Javon Curse, us being in the Music City, thinking about the Music City Miracle. I keep thinking about Javon Curse when I watch this guy.
Well, obviously it's a quarterback-driven league, but there are so many great pass rushers available tonight. When we come back, the Arizona Cardinals will be put on the clock. Look at this scene in Tennessee.
He's got it wide open, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything.
As a proud new sponsor of the NFL, Lowe's knows pros like to do things right. So we've stepped up our pro game too, with new pro managers, pro parking, and pro loaders, so you can get more done right. Lowe's, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Second and 10, it's Palmer again.
Hey, how do you do that tap thing?
He's got a man. That's Caldwell.
Oh, somehow I tapped the
Getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Thanks, Rook.
Okay, that's the last time.
Last time for what?
Now you can tap to pay with Visa. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
For methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From the red zone now, here's Palmer on first down. And that is caught by Caldwell. Touchdown, Chargers. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. The extra point up and good, and we are tied at 21.
Amazon's got everything you need, and free shipping for all. Welcome, everyone.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, nice move. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
What we deliver by delivering.
So we're here on the draft set that was built out of whole cloth right on the banks of the Cumberland River at the foot of Broadway. Up Broadway at Tootsie's. Chris Rose, take it away.
Thank you, Rich. I'm just happy you never had to run your 40-yard dash through those people. You'd never crack 6 seconds. Chris Rose joined as always by Charles Davis in the 74th overall selection of the 01 draft, Steve Smith. What are you most looking forward to tonight, my man?
What I'm really looking forward to is the Oakland Raiders and the New York Giants. You heard Dave Gettleman talk about he wants to have he doesn't want to have a culture problem. Well, this is your opportunity with your draft equity to change the culture in New York and also in Oakland. So I'm really interested to watch and see how do they pick and who do they pick.
Yeah, how about two teams with multiple picks? The Green Bay Packers have 2 picks in the first round, as does Seattle. Will the Packers stay there, use their picks, and support Aaron Rodgers as that window starts to shut? And what about Seattle with Russell Wilson's new contract? How do they reward that? And they will still need some pass rushers now that Frank Clark's gone to Kansas City. Ready to get this thing rolling?
Absolutely. Let's throw it back down Broadway. Rich Eisen, take it away.
Thanks very much. We are here. Look at honestly, I mean, look at that scene. That's the idea, is to take a living, breathing, vibrant thoroughfare that is a destination for tourists in this great National Football League American city of Nashville, Tennessee, and turn it into a party, a draft hall. We're expecting 6 figures of fans. They might get a little wet tonight with the weather turning, but so far it is so good. The football and weather gods have talked, and it is on. It being the 2019 National Football League draft. This is the 13th draft for Roger Goodell as commissioner, and it is time to put the Cardinals on the clock in the draft to open up the 100th season of the National Football League.
He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And the last carry puts him to Music City. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
We officially welcome the next generation of players in celebration of the NFL's 100th season. Before we get started, we have a special announcement that will help launch new memories for one NFL fan.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays.
I'm joined by 3 remarkable men who will assist with this moment.
Situation, that's almost
hey, Marcus,
a tendency breaker.
You want to say something to your hometown crowd?
How's it, Nashville? Welcome to the NFL Draft. Enjoy yourself. Let's go.
Also joining us are Hall of Famers Joe Green and Tim
Cunningham eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G.
All 3 of these men embody excellence on and off the field and represent greatness across generations of NFL history.
Guys, they'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
All right. Tonight, as part of NFL 100, we are announcing the greatest prize in the history of professional sports.
His way down to the 3-yard
One fan is about to win 2 season tickets for the next 100 years.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch
Thousands of incredible fans around the world showed us their passion for the team and how generations of families have been connected through football. With us here tonight are the 3 finalists.
Cunningham. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So the field goal there counts what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great
That is awesome.
Do they stick with it?
And who's just as happy are those kids hugging their dad right there, their great-grandchildren as well.
Why would you
Right now, the twinkle in the eye. 100 years of tickets.
Secondary, they really look foolish.
And that was amazing because
that's a suit game for his son, too. So it's a great suit.
And no big plays by the defense.
Look at that scene out there. I still can't get enough of it.
34 yards.
Here on Broadway.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there?
Football, that's neat.
Nice
Great way to start this event off with a fan getting and his family getting that amazing prize given to them by Mean Joe Green. Okay, it's time to start the drive.
Congratulations, Greg, to you and your family. You will enjoy NFL history together for decades to come.
When defenses get to the quarterback
now,
that quickly,
you guys ready to get started?
it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball.
Officially
and as he tried
open.
to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock.
From the 40.
Alrighty, this is it. The drama is building, and it's about to finally get, as rain is coming down on Nashville now. It's about to get rolling right here as we look on the Honda War Room cam here. The Arizona Cardinals, our first one, and we peek on in, and there's Steve Keim over there on the left at the top of the table is Michael Bidwell and Cliff Kingsbury on the right. It was last October when he said, as coach of Texas Tech, getting set to take on Oklahoma, that Kyler Murray, he would take him first overall in an NFL draft if he had the chance. And who knew at the time that here we are on April 25th, and he actually has that chance. So we're going to find out if he was just talking up with the opponent, or he really feels like this guy is the guy who he wants to hitch his wagon to as he gets his first crack at being a head coach in the National Football League. The best players available, Daniel Jeremiah, on your draft board. Let's get to that right here.
Well, to me, you look at the defensive lineman. This is a defensive-heavy draft. That's why I have Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams right there at the very top of the list. Kyler is my top quarterback, though. And last year, this offense in Arizona lasted everything. I won't read you all the numbers. Trust me, they were bad. They earned that first overall pick. And Kurt, they went out and got a new coach. The question is, are they going to go get a new quarterback?
That is the question, and there are a lot of issues. We saw that with Josh Rosen, who they drafted top 10 last year. Offensive line struggled, not a lot of weapons around him. You go get another quarterback, you're not going to have a lot of weapons around him this year either, but you got a playmaker, an athlete that can create some things on his own in a system that they seem to think is going to fit him perfectly. So if they go Kyler Murray, he's going to have to do a lot of carrying this football team next year.
And when you talk to folks around the league, the only concern, the major concern with Kyler Murray is the one that I have, and that's durability. But there is some hope and there is some good news in regards to his durability, because he does a phenomenal job of protecting himself. Watch him run out of bounds right here. Don't take that unnecessary hit. Now you're playing against Alabama. They've got you. You've got nowhere to go. Don't fight for an extra 2 or 3 yards. Give yourself up and go down. Do not take unnecessary punishment. You get a free run through here against Oklahoma State. Don't take that hit. Go down. Does a nice job of preserving himself there. And then this is something that I love. He turns his shoulder, which is very difficult to do, to save from taking a big hit. And a lot of people do that. They lose their accuracy. Not Kyler Murray. Watch the ball placement against Alabama. Falling off the mound. And this thing's on the money for a touchdown. So he's not a big guy. He's done a great job of protecting himself, but it's going to be a lot more difficult when you go from playing behind that Oklahoma offensive line in the Big 12 to playing behind this Cardinals offensive line in the NFC West.
But at least you're not going to have to teach him how to slide. He knows how to do that. Absolutely, absolutely. You know what I thought about the last 24 hours? I thought about Deshaun Watson last year. His rookie year. Deshaun Watson, they drafted him. He's going to be a backup quarterback. And the reason why he became a starter, not because he beat out the starter, was because they were bad up front. They couldn't protect. They wanted a guy that could get him out of trouble, that could minimize the bad plays and make some plays with his legs. And he had provided a spark. And I look at this guy could do that same thing.
Well, it's another first-round selection selection for general manager Steve Keim, who we saw just sitting there. He wasn't on the phone, maybe fielding calls for Josh Rosen. There didn't seem to be much activity on the Honda War Room camera. He peeked in just at the outset of being put on the clock there. 3.5 minutes in, and you can see right there, he's gone defense quite a bit. And now, Josh Rosen, is it possible he could be on the move, or is he their guy and they'll add a defender first round, first overall to that list right there? Chris Rose is up the road here in Nashville. Take it away.
Thank you, Rich. Charles Davis, Steve Smith, put on your Steve Keim hat. What are you doing, Steve Smith, with the #1 overall pick?
Well, you got to go ahead and move up and get your guy. And what I mean by getting your guy is understanding when a new coach comes in or a new general manager, they want to have success or failure with the guy that they choose. That happens all the time. Big plays, Arizona Cardinals 2008, last. And yards per play, last. You have to create a culture that says we are all in and making some playmakers, getting some playmakers. Larry Fitzgerald's an older player. He will be replaced whenever he decides. But you got to get a guy that you feel comfortable with and that your coach feels comfortable coaching.
Yeah. So is that the quarterback?
That has to be the quarterback. And I can tell you this. We talk about Arizona. Watch the Bengals. They're going to possibly move in there, too, because a new coach always lives or dies with his guy, not someone else.
The Bengals are trying to move up from 11. That's what you would do?
Just telling you, offense is hard to build a good, solid offense.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not so sure. He's talking about the Bengals going all the way up to 1 to get. You're talking about the Bengals picking a quarterback with a new coach in Zach Taylor. Remember, they didn't extend Andy Dalton. But when we're talking about the Cardinals, they've gone down the road so far now. You have to go with Kyler Murray. You've set it up that way. If you thought Josh Rosen was going to be your guy, they would have set that up right from the beginning. Got Cliff Kingsbury with it. Talked about what they would do in the future. Worked on the offense. That hasn't really happened. This is about getting Kyler Murray, as Steve said, his guy with a new head coach, and off they go.
Cardinals have drafted a quarterback 4 times in the first round. Last year, Josh Rosen, Matt Leinart in 06, Kelly Stoffer, who never played for him in 87, Steve Pisarkowitz in 1977. None of them had a winning record with the Cardinals, Rich Eisen.
All right, let's check in on that Honda War Room cam again. We're less than now 4 minutes to go. Has anybody moved? I don't know if anybody's moved. We're saying hello to everyone in the Honda War Room cam. I don't know if it's kind of like Braveheart where they're screaming hold as the Marauders are coming their way. But
is that a picture or is that actually video?
No, that's people are moving in there. So hello to Mr. Bidwell and the rest of the Cardinals that are in that room. Ian, what can you tell us? Less than 4 minutes to go now here on the Josh Rosen front. Is there anything happening?
The Cardinals possibly taking a matchup against a linebacker. Reached out to Josh Rosen's agent and told him the Cardinals eventually tweeted, which is, you are our guy. Meanwhile, a couple months later, it does seem like they are primed to take a quarterback. And from what I'm told, the Giants and the Redskins have told the Cardinals, if you take Kyler, if you want to trade Josh Rosen, make sure that you call us. But the Cardinals clearly not going to just give him away.
What do you think of that, DJ?
Well, look, if I'm the Washington Redskins, New York Giants, I am paying attention to this pick in a big way, and I know they don't want to give him away. I just can't see any scenario where you're going to have Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray together for very long. I don't think that's a smart way to get Kyler Murray's career launched, in my opinion.
And as you said, if they go with Kyler Murray before that move, all the leverage now goes to the Redskins, to the Giants. We can hold on to our #1 pick and maybe give a lower round pick and get our quarterback as well.
Well, that looks like an owner of a team on the phone with somebody that they're about to draft. Steve Keim's on the phone, seemingly laughing. So we have some movement on the Honda War Room cam right there for Arizona, and it is just such a major, significant moment in this draft. If it is Kyler Murray, what it means for that franchise, what it really does mean for the evaluation of the position in the sport, and obviously what it means for Josh Rosen, what it means for those fans. And if they don't do Kyler Murray, if they don't choose Kyler, what that means for those Raiders fans in that organization.
I think back to when Kyler Murray transferred to Oklahoma, how frustrating it must have been to sit and wait behind Baker Mayfield. And now you fast forward, Baker Mayfield being the first pick and playing the way he played last year has paved the way for this pick tonight. I don't think if he doesn't have the success he had last year, I'm not sure Kyler Murray's the first pick tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that because it's hard to evaluate. I had trouble evaluating Baker in that system last year, but then I watched what he did in the NFL and I go, okay, that worked. Yeah, that worked. So the next guy you go, okay, you have to assume that some of those same traits, because he had the same kind of success, will translate as well. So he's got all the pieces individually. My big question is, if you go here, is he going to have the pieces around him to have that same sort of success early? Absolutely. You're talking about Josh Rosen, too. The big reason why you'd have to move him is they're two polar opposite guys. If you're going to craft this offense for Kyler Murray, you're going to need his backup to be somewhat similar. You'd have to change and strap the whole game plan. So this is the pick. It's not just about getting rid of Josh Rosen, who I think is a good quarterback and a good starting NFL quarterback at some point. It's not now about who's that backup quarterback going to be. So we're going to have to scrap our offense and Kyler Murray does get hurt.
Well, I know this event is no longer in New York City, but this does have some sort of like New Year's Eve feel to it right now. Like there's tons of people in a main spot in a big city, and the ball's about to drop in less than 40 seconds. And a question that we've had burning up the National Football League and the talent evaluation portion of the calendar for weeks, months, throughout the playing season, when we were all assuming Kyler Murray was just having one last go-around with football at Oklahoma before joining the A's in baseball until he won the Heisman Trophy. We thought it would be Nick Bosa coming back from an injury atop the draft, and then Murray showed up at the Combine, and everybody thought it was going to be Kyler Murray. The 49ers know who the pick is because they're 30 seconds being into their choice right now. The 49ers are on the clock. So the burning question, will it be Kyler Murray, will it not be? What does that mean for Josh Rosen if it is? If it's not, what does that mean for Kyler Murray? What does that mean for the 49ers? We're about to get that answer right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you think it is going to be Kyler Murray?
I think it's Kyler Murray. There were two people in that draft room on the phone. One might have been calling Kyler Murray. One might have been calling Josh Rosen to let him know what's going to happen.
Or the Giants or the Redskins to say, what do you think? Okay, let's now send it to the stage and get the first pick of the draft revealed by the commissioner of the National Football League. And a big, huge, dramatic moment here in Nashville to kick off the 2019 draft.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards. And
the 2019 NFL Draft.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back.
The Arizona Cardinals select
this intensity
Kyler Murray,
usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience.
So it is. The assumed is really happening. Kyler Murray, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma, at 5'10" and 1/8", just became the first overall pick in this draft, sending the Arizona Cardinals potentially to the trade block for Josh Rosen, as we all expect. And Cliff Kingsbury, when he said that he would make Kyler Murray the first overall pick in the NFL draft, given the chance, given that chance, has made it happen.
And when we found out that they had the #1 pick that first day, we thought they would go get somebody to tackle Russell Wilson. They just said, forget that, we're going to go find our own Russell Wilson. And that's what they did here with Kyler Murray. There's going to be bumps in the road for Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. But they just became must-see TV next year to watch what this kid does.
Without a question, you just mentioned it. It's just a week ago, the guy that was 5'10", that a lot of people wanted to be a franchise guy, got the highest paid, the highest paid quarterback in National Football League history. And that's exactly what they're banking on, is that even if he's not a great pocket passer right off the bat, can he be special like he was on tape, like he was in college? Can he run around and make those Russell Wilson-type plays at big moments in games?
All right, let's take a look at Kyler Murray and what gets you fired up. You want somebody to drive the ball outside the numbers? No problem. A flat, firm ball. How about some touch? Show me a little bucket throw down here in the red zone. Drop that one in beautifully. You get a free rusher, you got some chaos, no problem. Climb up, watch his throw on the move. Watch him elevate this ball against Alabama. of the best throws you'll see this entire year. Now you've got a busted assignment. You've got offensive linemen running into each other. Okay, maybe we throw it away, run out of bounds, 5 yards. No, he's going 60 and taking this thing to the house. Now, this is a concern. Every now and then wants to do a little too much, trying to get a big play every play, and you force things and you turn the ball over. That's going to be the challenge, to rein that in but stay aggressive.
Well, who better to welcome him to Prime Time, presented by Pizza Hut, delivered by Pizza Hut, than Prime himself. Dion?
It'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Are you happy that you chose football?
I think all this speaks for itself. I'm blessed to be here. I can't even put it into words. It's a dream come true.
Was this the defender?
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
To be here,
and this defense here going to burn their second timeout.
Everybody who's
but you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
You bring to the table there.
Now
I'm ready to go. No matter what the situation is.
Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
One thing they'll get out of me is I'm going to go hard every time I touch the field.
Proud of you, man. Back to you, Kurt.
Thanks a lot, Dion. We talked about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals wanting him to be the next Russell Wilson. So let's take a look at the Dodge draft comparison between him and Russell Wilson and what both of these guys do extremely well. And we'll start here with Russell Wilson out of the pocket, right? The ability to make, look at this, perfect coverage, but the ball up and over the top with touch on the second level throws. Now you're going to see Kyler Murray outside the box, pressure in his face. Another great situation coverage-wise. There's only one way to throw this, coach. Up and over the top with great touch for the touchdown. Now you get pressure, right? Things break down. You got free runners coming at you. Nobody better than Russell Wilson. And a little shake and bake, eyes down the field, and a strike on the move. Kyler Murray can do the same sort of things. He's looking left. They're bringing a free runner to the right. That's an easy sack, right? Not for this guy. There's the shake and bake, the eyes down the field. Big play after big play when things break down in front of him. That's what Arizona is hoping they're going to get from this young man.
And as you mentioned, DJ, the fans there love it out there at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Baker Mayfield, who went first overall out of Oklahoma. It's the first time we've ever seen quarterbacks from the same school go in the first round in back-to-back drafts, let alone being first overall picks, let alone both being Heisman Trophy winners. So this is draft history that we may never see again. And the Cardinals are just going to send this kid out. It's going to be, with your comparison there, Kurt, there will be 2 Kyler Murray versus Russell Wilson games on the schedule every year in the NFC West. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly he progresses in the NFL.
And it's going to be must-see TV. Kurt said it's going to be must-see TV. You're going to have to watch this guy. This guy's special. He's exciting. But the big thing is now, to me, they did what we thought they were going to do. They did the thing that makes sense. They got the coach. They got the quarterback. Now you got to go make it work. Now you got to add pieces around him. This guy can hold you, keep you alive, because he can keep plays alive. But now you got to put guys around him. You got to protect him up front. You got to give him a great defense and get the ball back. This is just the beginning of the process.
Yeah, and the first Arizona game coming up this year is going to be against Detroit. So that'll be interesting, assuming that they put him in right away. The next-gen stats presented by AWS takes a look at the top 5 edge defenders according to next-gen stats. With the 49ers selection being in, the Jets have been on the clock for at least a minute. So we'll see if this is Nick Bosa, if it is Quinnen Williams, could it be Allen? There's everybody else not named Kyler Murray obviously available for the San Francisco 49ers. Let's send things back to the podium and the commissioner with the second name of the night.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
In the 2019 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select
now Cunningham.
Nick Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State.
Left side, it's complete.
So Nick will play his ball out on the West Coast in Northern California. We all know his brother plays it in Southern California. His father also a first-round selection. So the Bosas, you'll see in a second, join some pretty respectable company in the NFL in that department. And DJ, you were telling me that scouts throughout the NFL were drooling over this kid being a prospect coming in, and now he's in the National Football League.
Last year, you remember when Sam Darnold was coming out, and people were critical of how he played against Ohio State. That guy walking right there is why he didn't play well in that game. He hit him repeatedly. He dominated when he was on the football field. Needs to stay healthy, but everything I've heard is he is 100% healthy and ready to go. I think the 49ers just got the best football player in this year's draft.
And you think about what they did up front. They spent a lot of money on that defensive front, but now you've got D Ford who can rush on one side. You've got Bosa on the other side. DeForest Buckner, who had 12 sacks last year. And, Coach, as you mentioned, right, and you got Solomon Thomas, who's been playing defensive end. He can now move inside where he's at his best. Absolutely.
And we get to Nick Bosa. Look, it is the family business. Get a chance to watch his brother Joey each and every week. The hands and the hips, they're off the charts. The only concern, the durability, was some of the time that he's missed. Let's look at the comparison between the brothers. How about a little double hand swipe from Nick? And if that looks familiar, working against Maryland here, get that swipe and finish. It's because you've seen Big Brother do the exact same thing. Ironically, on this one, looks like the former quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals and Josh Rosen. How about a little forklift? Lift that wrist up in the air. That hand-to-hand combat. That's what the Bosa boys are so good at. Working against TCU, get home and force the fumble. And Joey's been doing that since he got into the league. The exact same move. They are technicians. They can win with a little quickness off the edge, and they can go right through your pads. They're slightly different players. I think Nick plays with a little more power and a little more leverage. He can even kick inside and rush over a guard if you want, but it's going to be fun to watch him in that defensive front. You mentioned it, Kurt. They've got some assets up front now for this defense.
It's going to be exciting, and you mentioned it. You mentioned two of the three things for me because he can play with that power. He's got that speed up the edge. If you don't kick on this guy, he's going to hit you fast. He's going to hit your quarterback. We saw it twice, and the quarterback's getting the top of his drop, and he gets hit. But the other thing this guy has is a nasty inside move. It is a scary inside move. So you can't play him over the top. You can't play him underneath. You got to try to play him straight, and you better chip him.
And with the selection of Murray will now be in the crosshairs for Bosa, who, as I mentioned, along with his brother and dad, first-round selections, joining the Manning family. It's the only such family to have a dad and two sons selected in the first round of an NFL draft. And so now we've got 5 minutes to go on the clock right now for the New York Jets. And the question is, are the Jets going to trade down? That's been a lot of the conversation about the Jets over the last 48 hours. They're going to trade down, and out of this pick there is the Bosa family right there. And so the question is are the Jets going to trade down out of this pick? Are the Giants looking to trade for Josh Rosen right now? New York football is kind of interestingly right in the middle of all this, while we send things to Deion Sanders, welcoming Nick Bosa to prime time, delivered by Pizza Hut.
What's the family secret? Everyone in the house goes in the first round? How does this happen?
Shit, we got good genes, man. Good genes. My mom and dad know how to make them.
They sure do. What advice did your brother give you on how to prepare and how to handle the night?
Just, I mean, appreciate every moment. It's only one time we get to go through this, so appreciate every moment and don't wish away time.
Tell Dad I need to talk to him because you guys know what you're doing. Back to you, Rich.
You got it. So we're going to take a break, and I know all the Jet fans back home, all my buds, Gary V, wherever you are, forget about it. Going to break with the Jets on the clock? You got to be kidding me. We'll get to it when we come back.
Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you, or a player that has the hot hand,
as a proud new sponsor of the NFL, Lowe's knows pros like to do things right. So we've stepped up our pro game too, with new pro managers, pro parking, and pro loaders. So you can get more done right. Lowe's, proud sponsor of the NFL.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up.
Good, on and off the field.
Nationwide is proud to sponsor the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year.
Taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, the ball gets in the end zone. This thing's over.
And I remember my coaches always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this race is done.
Oh, it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Official yogurt of fueling your
A costly mistake here in OT.
With available Apple CarPlay, the Honda HR-V can help you stay connected, rock out, or drop a beat. Find a new perspective with the perfectly sized Honda HR-V.
That's typically how coaches and teams feel about you. Throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Now the ball comes loose. And this is recovered by the Chargers. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Amazon's got everything you need and package tracking for all.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. They'll be left with just one remaining here.
All right, we're back on NFL Network, and the Jets have made the pick. They did not trade it. The pick is in. The Raiders are now on the clock, which means Mike Mayock is on the clock for the first time as a general manager.
So
as we look in on the green room built by Lowe's, there's Christian Wilkins waiting for the call that's going to change his life. Who do you think the Jets are going to take here, DJ?
Well, it's got to be one of the D tackles, is my guess. Ed Oliver, Quentin Williams. They also need an edge rusher. Josh Allen's out there. To me, it's got to be one of those three.
What do you think, Kurt?
I would agree, and we talked about this a lot. I think it depends on what kind of system Greg Williams is going to run. If they're going to run a 3-4, I think Josh Allen is the perfect guy. If they're going to play more of a 4-3, you go inside with one of those D tackles.
Having competed against Greg Williams in the past, he wants the guy that gets after the quarterback. He's going to send them every single way possible to get after him.
Well, last year the Jets traded from 6 into the 3rd spot, selected Sam Darnold. This year they just flat out earned it. They're sitting there at 3. And they could use a nice new pass rusher for Greg Williams to go